Hello everybody and welcome back to a Bandit Prince tutorial. This one's going to be short and sweet, unlike the other one that ended up being like fucking 20 minutes long. Someone in the comments of my last video on currency asked if I could make one that involves just XP. And it's quite simple. There won't be all the intricacies of the last one. If you are interested in that last video, I will make sure to put the link in the description below. The first thing you're going to need is a scoreboard to keep track of whether the player has enough XP to buy something. So to do that, you'll just do a slash command, which is scoreboard objectives add. We're gonna name this one. So this one we're just gonna call it success, and it will be a dummy one. The next thing you're gonna need is just two command blocks set up like this. The first thing that we're going to do is actually check if the player has the amount of XP. So we're gonna do execute as at p store success. Now this success here is not the scoreboard that we created. You can tell because this is case sensitive, so none of this is anything that we've created before. So we're gonna do success score at p, not at pp, and you can see here it wants to autofill success. This is the success that we created. So if entity at a, and then what we're going to do is put little brackets, and I'm going to go ahead and put 2 so that it doesn't yell at me, because I hate when it yells at me. I don't like being yelled at. So we're going to do levels equal, and let's say we want whatever item this is to cost 10 XP. And now we actually need to take out the XP. So we're going to do run XP add, and I know it says add, but really we're going to subtract, so we'll do at p. And then this is where you will put the negative number that you put here. So just make sure that you negate it. And then continue on with this. Afterwards, you just put levels, so you'll do that. We'll go ahead and put a button on it. Now for the second one, all you need to do is make this chain conditional, always active, and that will change it to this lovely green color. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to give the person the item. So let's see here, we're going to do execute if score at p success matches 1. Run give at p, and then whatever item your heart so desires, let's give this person air. We will give them air. You know what, no, let's not give them air, because it would be very difficult to show. Here, I'm going to close my eyes. We're going to give them concrete, apparently, blue concrete. And you can designate an item. Let's say we want to give 10. You know what, no. We're just going to make you get 1 concrete. So yeah, then you can put whatever number you want there to designate a count. And now we need to go into survival mode to actually show this working. So we'll do game mode survival. As you can see, I have 10 lovely XP points, and all we're gonna do is fuck. Well, we're not gonna fuck. That's not what I meant, but it was all because of a space. Okay, I love my life. Okay, we're gonna make our survival, our game mode survival. I'm gonna go ahead and give myself back the XP at Bandit Prince. 10 levels. So now you can see I have 10 levels, and it goes away and it gives me the lovely blue concrete. Woohoo, we did it! Now if you don't care about all the intricacies of how this works, then you are completely done with this. Have a nice day. If you're curious on how this works, it's kind of like learning a new coding language. So if you're curious about that type of thing and you want to be able to manipulate this further, or you're just here to learn, we'll get into that now. So I'm actually going to pull up Notepad++ where I have what it's doing, because it'll be easier to read that way. So let's see here. So as you can see here, we have both of these statements that we ran. I went ahead and changed this to error just because it didn't quite say error. I had it, anyways, it's error now. So it's, as you can see, it says execute. This just means it's going to execute if this conditional statement is true. So it's pretty much executing if the player, the nearest entity, which is at p, that's what, which in this case would be whoever is buying, so whether that's you or someone on your server, then we're going to store that success, so whether they do or don't, and that's stored as a 0 or a 1. And since it's a scoreboard, we do say score, and then you're going to store the score of that success in our scoreboard called success. And then all the rest of this is just the conditional statement. So if the entity, which would be this at P, at A has 10 levels, the reason it has to be at A is because an entity, it has to deal with, and I can't quite remember, I think I described it in the first video that discusses this, but pretty much an entity can't necessarily be a player, so you have to do A, something like that. So just go ahead and, you know, just trust that it works. It just works, okay? So what this does is it just checks that the player does have more than 10 levels, and if that statement is true, this is what will run. So it's going to add the XP, which is actually subtracting 10 levels from the player. So the next one is pretty much an if-then statement, just like this one. It's just a little bit smaller and less complicated, so it's going to execute if the score from this previous one matches 1, because, you know, a success would be 1, and unsuccessful, so a success would be 1, so they do have more than 10 levels, an unsuccessful one would be 0, they don't have 10 levels. So they have like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, anyways, you get the gist. And if that's true, you give them whatever the hell they want, because that's how a store works. If you have the money, you can buy whatever the hell you want, even if you have more money than brains. And pretty much that's all you need to run an XP shop. That's how it works, if you're curious. I hope this was helpful and a lot more simple than the previous video. If you do want to do more with your XP, if you want to make it an item, like I said, that video will be in the description, as well as all of these commands will also be in the description. Please make sure to change everywhere where there are curly brackets to the actual item that you need, otherwise it will not fucking work. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I hope to catch you next time. Someone asked in the comments how to make a store out of currency. No, that's not how you words. Alright, so we're gonna go into survival mode. Okay, game mode sus! Let's see here, we'll do properties. Oh, that's my, don't look at that. Don't look at that.
Why are you gay?